Hello and welcome to my FE15 ETZ playthrough. I'm US's Gordon Captain here with,
1776.
and you're watching the start of Celica's route. So Celica's Act 3 needs a weapon, this bow, the killer bow, because without it, well, Celica's route Act 3 would be complete pain.
There's a good reason why we played on the route first. There is nothing Celica can give on that would be really helpful, but in reverse is, of course, we got a killer bow, fully forged, ready to be used by a better unit than Python.
Yes. Um, Unfortunately, that unit did not get speed procs, so that's annoying.
It is unfortunate because that means that some of his combat proficiency will be done by Saber.
All right, so upcoming is a jump cut where I walked all the way to Deliverance HQ. That was just to save time. You didn't want to see that walk.
And it is very relevant because that gives us the opportunity to use the dungeon trick, which is similar to the hover trick, but instead of hovering over enemies, you enter and get out of the dungeon, which also helps to rate maps. It, so as we go through Celica's route, we are going to have less enemies on the map. And if we run out of enemies and their spawn appears, we might just lose a turn. And is going to help us when we get there.
So in this map, the basic strategy is to teach Valbar shove. Valbar is a really good unit at learning shove because he's extremely bulky. Since Leon is unable to double on the top side of the map, this means that the map is turn floored at 3. So this leaves us a lot of time to do things that I wouldn't normally do, like train Saber.
The main recipient for EXP here is Jenny. She needs to learn basic before Bow Fort. And with a very generous turn floor, she can actually do it, even though she is even worse at fighting than Saber.
Yes.
And we also got two great units, Paulo and Katria, who, even though we cannot control them right now, they are much more useful than Kamui.
Yeah, they're gonna be pretty decent at killing enemies. Better than Saber for sure because they fly. And defending them isn't actually very hard because we have 3 pretty solid combat units. I'm teaching Bowie Swap and Valbar Shove, even though originally I planned on doing the reverse, because Valbar is much better at tanking on this map in particular than Bowie is, and so it's actually possible for him to learn Shove, unlike Bowie.
It would be much easier if Bowie had Thunder, but it is what it is when you go May as your main mage. And even though May could easily one round most of these enemies without having to get weapon rank for Valvar, it is a much better idea to do this anyway because May is so lacking in bulk that she would get overwhelmed by every enemy she kills. Just goes to show the quality of our best combat unit at this point.
Yes. May is definitely far and away the best combat unit we have. So it's kind of unfortunate that she can't perform. Here, Valbar gets to poke this Myrmidon, and then Bowie's gonna finish him off. May is gonna get some Celica killing that Brigand is a mistake. May can actually just do it herself. You don't need to. The Brigands actually prefer to target May over targeting Valbar because May has really good bulk compared to bad bulk compared to Valbar, so they think they can actually kill her. And the Brigands just line up single file into the slaughterhouse if that is May's blessed sword. And Paul and Country finished the map. So that was 3-1 cleared in 3 turns. The next map to do is 3-2. But first, we have to recruit Paul and Katria. Could you describe how good Paul and Katria are, Juan?
Of course, Paul and Katria are like Claire, but slightly better because they are much better at fighting than Claire is. So you know how Claire does something unique in every map, even for unique qualities. Well, it applies to Fallen Culture too. They can fly, they can get over annoying terrain, and they can poke enemies once in a while, but they're not that good at fighting because their bulk isn't fantastic and they get doubled by many enemies. But don't get me wrong, they are pretty good what they can do.
Yeah, specifically, Celica's route has three mages, mercs, and archers, and these enemies have this nice synergy where they either double Paula and Katria, or Paula and Katria are always out of range of them. So they're going to rely on the fact that they have movement to just do hit and run tactics, or just hit tactics in general. So they don't have to deal with the fact that they'll be fighting enemies that are going to hit them, since they'll actually get two rounded by basically every major enemy type, except oddly enough snipers, who are the least likely enemy type to two round them. So on this map we have the graveyard. This map is really boring, and I actually might advise you skip it. The only interesting thing that happens on this map is achieving objectives. So the one interesting objective on this map is teaching Jenny Physic, getting Valbar to learn Shove, and Bowie to learn Swap.
Yes, they might as well just giving you weapon rank for free on all of your units and just skip straight to Archer Fort because it would have been the same result.
Yes. So the one interesting thing about this map is that Saber is going to be able get to promotion level, which is kind of funny because Saber is kind of bad, but he is still a unit, and invested way too much EXP into him, which was a big mistake. He should really not have gone to promotion level at all.
Hey, better than having a second Kamui. I don't know why you bother deploying him in this map. He doesn't do anything.
It's because he gets bonus experience for being deployed.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. The previous map had the CXP bug, which means he didn't get bonus CXP.
Yeah. All right, so now we get to the part where I make a mistake, and I need Paula to get EXP and not Katria, because unlike Katria, Paula is going to actually promote, whereas Katria is not going to promote. I mean, if you just look at their join levels, there's no way Katria is promoting in time. But Katria got a crit, so she stole EXP like a filthy Jagan.
Or all. One or the other. But that's the graveyard in 2 turns.
We'll see you next time for Beaufort.
See ya.